You've tuned in to the show that celebrates life and all that makes it special. Sports, music, you, and of course, an ice cold beer or a glass of your favorite wine. And now, today's story.
Hi. There are moments in each of our lives that define us in ways we can't even begin to imagine. And when these moments occur, we're usually oblivious as to the extent of their long-term effect, not only on us, but on our loved ones. I'm Ralph, and welcome to Life, Sports, Music, and Beer, as we continue our mission to give everyone the opportunity to tell their story. And today we have a wonderful story about a young man whose life was defined by two moments. The first was when, as a shy, quiet teenager, he decided to step out of his comfort zone and join his high school's yearbook staff. This led him not only to find his love for reporting, but to realize his talent for speaking, something he's perfected and hasn't stopped doing to this day. His second and most important defining moment was the birth of his son, Thomas, who, from birth, had to fight for his life. This event forced him to summon a strength and realize a faith he had no idea he possessed, and all with the help and comfort of his wife and two dear friends. And now, it's our pleasure to bring you, From Shy Teen to Strong Father, the Paul Anthony story. Here's Paul.
Okay, hi everybody. Just want to tell everybody thank you for tuning in. I'm here with our guest man of the hour today, and that is Paul Anthony. And of course, I'm with my esteemed co-host, Ralph. So this is Life, Sports, Music, and Beer, and you've joined us for what hopes to be a wonderful story about a man that I've known for quite a bit of time now. We basically call each other brothers from another mother. Mm-hmm. Because our wives are cousins, and so that makes us, I guess, cousin-in-laws. Cousin-in-laws, but it doesn't matter. He feels like my brother. Yep. I believe you're an only child, so yes, I'm probably one of the closest things to a brother you have. So
yes.
That's awesome.
We don't fight though.
No, we don't. No.
That's because you don't live in the same household.
Win.
It's
true.
Anyway, listen, before you get started, Kyle and Paul, thanks for coming on, man. I really, really appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to this conversation. But
sure,
you know who Harry Chafin is?
Yes, I've heard the name. Yeah,
he was a great songwriter, singer, and stuff like that. And he had a song that's called "Old John Joseph was a man with two first names." That's the first line. That was the first line of the great song. If you never heard of it. Uh-huh. So every time I hear your name is Paul Anthony, you're the man with two first names.
I'll blow you away with this one. I worked for a guy named Steve Todd at one point.
Okay.
So we were the company of guys that have two first names.
Steve what now?
Steve Todd.
Oh,
T-O-D-D.
Oh my God. So you were the company of two first names.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
Kind of weird.
Yeah. I love it. All right. So listen, I'm just going to get out of the way and enjoy this conversation. This is awesome. Kyle, you want to just take us away? Cause you guys are
just, basically, I know enough about you and known some of the trials and tribulations throughout our life, of knowing each other, with your mom, who had a horrible disease that unfortunately ended up taking her away from us way sooner than we should have. And then I know that, eventually, you lost your father. And I know that was very big on all of us because he was such a great guy. But, he's a twin. So that's got to be, I want to ask you about that. I've always wanted to ask you about that. And you've seen your uncle, how that affects you. I've always wondered that. But
it really doesn't. I mean,
doesn't? Okay.
To me, Uncle Don's always been the different weird brother to me. I mean, yeah, they look alike. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, they look alike and everything, but during Dad's funeral, the thing that I kept thinking about was, what is he thinking looking at my dad laying in that casket?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God, that looks
that
like
would
me.
Be surreal, right?
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
It never really bothers me. I mean, our dog, well, dog now. We had 2 dogs. They think that when Uncle Don comes over, that's my dad, I think.
Dad.
Because they always just run to him, and they never really been that. He never came over here that much for them to love on him as much as they did Dad. So that's really the only thing. So.
Right.
Wow.
Well, I didn't want. I kind of start off a little morbid, but but it's unfortunately the line of work I'm in, that's par for the course for most discussions. But we all, you're an avid baseball fan, avid sports fan. I want to talk to you about the fact that your wonderful basement. I've been there. I love it. I've actually. And then your of course your Cardinals, your St. Louis Cardinals. You do preside in St. Louis, Missouri, which is a great. If I didn't live in Columbus, Ohio, I'd be living in St. Louis. I know it. I love it there.
This is a baseball town with hockey very close second.
Yeah, and then what used to be a football town.
That's right. Used to be a football town.
That's another story.
So we'll get into how much you like the Rams right now. So, into this moment in time, we'll get into that a little bit later in the show.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. St. Louis is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city. My brother lived in St. Louis for some years ago, and I remember the first major league stadium that I went to in my life as a young man was Busch Stadium. I'm not sure if it's the same stadium they have now.
Probably not. When were you here?
It must have been in the late 70s, maybe early 80s.
So that was Busch Stadium 2. There's 3 Busch Stadiums now. The original one was actually Old Sportsman's Park down in the city, and then they moved downtown when they built Busch Stadium 2, the cookie cutter stadium with the arches all around the side. And then in 2006, they demoed that, and now we have Busch Stadium 3. So they carried the name through. Yeah.
Like in the early 80s, was that 2?
That opened in 60 something or another, 67, 68, something like that.
Paul, I got to tell you something. I remember.
Yes, sir.
I'm 71, and I still remember vividly in my mind when I walked up that ramp and I got to the top and I saw, I'm getting chills right now. And I saw that stadium. To me, it was like the most beautiful thing I had ever seen in my life, except for when I saw my wife. I got to throw that disclaimer in because.
Good job.
You like that? Huh? But it's true. The most majestic thing I had ever seen in my entire life. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think that of the new stadium right now. I mean, I'm looking at a picture of Busch Stadium 2 over here, and to me, it just looks like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a ton of memories in there. When I was a kid, we would go down there. Bleacher seats were $4, and we would sit in there all the time. Go to games almost every night that they were at home. But the new stadium just I guess for me the new stadium is we started out with season tickets in 2006. They won the World Series that year. I got to sit next to my dad when they won the World Series that year, and it was just so awesome. And that's my favorite ballpark right there.
Right.
And I get that
awesome.
same feeling every time I walk in.
That leads me to when you mentioned something about you're sitting next to your dad. You actually have a promotional picture that got blasted throughout the world. Or tell us more about that.
I actually have no idea. I mean, all of a sudden, my wife Tammy was looking online or something, and she sees this picture, and it's says something about thank you, Cardinal fans, for being with us through all the year, even though the Red Sox beat us that year. And this must have been 2013.
You're making me puke. Don't make me puke. You make Red Sox beat you.
Red Sox, right?
What year was that?
13.
Was it 6? Huh?
It was 2013 when the Red Sox beat us. And unbeknownst to us, I think I sent you the picture, Kyle. They have there's a picture of us waving our rally towels.
Picture the picture will show up here pretty soon. We'll get to that. I'll figure out what place to put it.
and we had no idea anybody took that, and it just happened to be me and Dad right there. And that was cool. I mean, I got to show it to him before he passed away in 2017, so he saw it. And that was the team that he loved, and so he was part of a promo for it. So that was pretty cool.
That is awesome, dude.
Yeah. And
And
to
you
see it is like, oh my God, is that us? And it's got to be. That's my hat. That's my sweater. That's Dad. So yeah.
Did you have it in? Did you have it enlarged? You have it in your room, in your basement?
No, I just have it on my phone. It's
Well, you might want to think about that. Enlarge, just that's a beautiful thing.
I mean,
Well,
it's a
that's
good
what,
picture.
I wonder if you can find the raw copy of it somehow.
Yeah,
I wonder
I mean,
who
the
it
picture
was.
that I have has the play button, start that little triangle thing, sideways
Yeah.
triangle on it. So I mean,
Well, you never found out who took that picture? Was it just someone, or was it a journalist?
Journalist, probably.
Well, I mean, if you find out who the publication, you could probably, they have archives
like
of all that.
Yeah.
If it was something for like your newspaper, I know that we can go to Columbus Dispatch and get archived pictures. That's how I got some Buckeye pictures and stuff.
Probably through the Cardinals that they had it taken. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Reach out to them.
Yeah.
Tell them you're doing a podcast and you want to, you're bringing back those memories. Tell them who you are, and that might work. It's a great piece to have.
That's a great story. That's
cool.
That's one of those things where it's almost like that 15 minutes of fame thing. I mean, but it's better than that because it's a print. And
Absolutely.
people saw that and they got their own feeling about that game, and you and your dad were part of it, and then you got to be in it with your dad. That's like,
that was awesome. That was awesome.
I
they
was,
lost, but
right. Well, but it's still memories, and it's still. I've never been to a World Series. I've never been to a World Series with my dad, nonetheless. So for you to be able to have that memory, and you being such a baseball fan in a city who's had this baseball team for forever, and you guys have grown up with them, and I'm actually a Cardinals fan because of Paul and everybody in St. Louis, because my wife, of course, we said, she went to St. Louis, her whole family, that side of the family lives in St. Louis. And because they grind me down, I mean, I'm a Reds fan, which I shouldn't even be in the same room with the Reds and the Cardinals. But until they play the Reds, or when the Reds become relevant again, I'm always been a closet Cardinals fan. So
and I think it's the most beautiful uniform in baseball, the Cardinal uniform.
Well, hey, Ralph, tell them who your favorite catcher is.
Of
all time.
Of all time, Yadier Molina.
Yachty?
Yeah. He actually mentions that. He mentions that in the gym episode.
The guy is absolutely amazing. I mean, I remember my wife and I went up to Milwaukee to watch the Cardinals play one year. We saw 3 games set up there, and he was hitting maybe $150. And that was his first year. It was 2005, his first year in the league. And I kept looking at this guy. I'm like, you watch. He is not gonna stay like this his entire career. He is going to be a relevant hitter in this league. And really, catching position, I mean, they're there to manage the game. With him, his cannon of an arm, they don't run against him. The pitching is great with him behind the plate. Hitting is an added bonus for him.
Yeah.
And he's come around to this fantastic hitter. I mean, everybody says how wonderful and great Stan Musial is, and he was, but now you have this catcher who is going to be finishing his career here, whole career in St. Louis. I put him right up there with Stan Musial.
Wow.
I mean, he's just as good. Doesn't have the numbers, but he's just as good.
But who has the numbers that Musial had? I mean, that guy was just unbelievable. To me, he was, and I think I chose him. Kyle, do you remember? I think I chose him as my top first baseman of all time.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
But anyway, let me just, I don't want to jump, but talking about this Molina thing, if for you listeners and viewers, if you didn't watch My Journey to the Olympics, the Jim Mancilla story, part 2, he talks about Molina and how Molina went to college at Miami-Dade North. And, and Jim Mancilla was the one that picked him up at the airport and had to drive him for like an hour and 15 minutes from Fort Lauderdale Airport to where he was supposed to stay that night, and report to the college in the morning to take part in practices.
That's awesome.
You got to listen to that. Yeah, you got to listen to that story. But he never made it to the practice because he signed that night before 12 p.m. And he took off. It's a very interesting story. So if you haven't heard that, you got to go in there and listen to this.
I started watching part 2. I haven't quite finished it yet.
So and you'll hear that story. And it's a fascinating story. It's so cool. It's so funny. Anyway,
It has to do with Yachty, so it's got to be a cool video.
yeah, you know what? And just now, because I think Kyle just went off for a second. He probably had some technical difficulties. That's okay. My dad was a huge St. Louis fan. Now I'm a huge St. Louis fan on a National League side. In 1967, you weren't around. The Yankees and the Cardinals played for the World Series 1967. And I remember my dad and I, we were like going at each other. And that was, the Cardinals won that year. And it was, I had such a great time with my dad. He was like, he loves St. Louis. So when my brother moved to St. Louis and we got a chance to go to that stadium, it was like hog heaven. And my dad was in hog heaven. Yeah, it was like,
Right.
I love it.
Speaking of hog heaven, we have good barbecue here too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's good stuff, man. But listen, man, Kyle, take him back to the beginning, because I think the viewers and the listeners want to know a little bit about his childhood and stuff like
life,
that.
sports, music, and
Look
beer. You're
at
tipping your
that,
beer.
yeah.
Got your wine
And,
there? Come on, Ralph. What do you got?
I wouldn't call my.
I
Ralph
only got
talks
my
about
water,
favorite
man.
wine.
I only got my water.
Ralph
me
talks
too.
about his favorite wine. I wouldn't call this my favorite, but at least I'm winning Rome.
At least it's a
There
wine.
you go.
So yeah, just start off. We wanted to talk to Paul and get him on the show, not just because he's a family member, but Paul. Everybody has a story, and Ralph has his, I have mine, and Paul. I know part of his story, but I don't know all of it. I know some pretty big parts of his story, but Paul, what go back from the beginning and just give us an overview of the fact that you grew up in St. Louis, correct?
Yep.
And just
All my
bring
life,
us up through. Bring us up
spent-
through the current. Then we've got a few questions that we try to ask all of our guests, or a group of questions we randomize and ask of our guests, which will really be interesting to hear everybody's responses and keep track of it. But go ahead and start at the beginning, Paul, and just tell us about yourself.
I've lived in St. Louis. I'll be 50 this year. I've lived in St. Louis for 48 years. Right now we live about 5 minutes from where I grew up. So, I've been in this area. I could close my eyes and be able to drive down the streets around here.
Right.
Might not be a good idea, but
I was going to say that's not a good idea.
Yeah. Maybe late at night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, only child.
So you weren't born in St. Louis?
Yeah, I was born in St. Louis.
What you
I
say?
lived.
You said 3.
I was born in 72. Here in St. Louis. When I graduated college, I moved to Rockford, Illinois, and was
I didn't know that.
Director at a radio station, and ended up working at a TV station after that, and then moved back home.
I didn't know that you moved away from. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when I met you, you had already come back.
Oh yeah. When
I didn't know you. I did. That's a little tidbit I didn't know about you.
And actually, when I was up in Rockford, I interviewed after I had quit the job at the radio station. I interviewed at a TV station, and the guy that was interviewing me was asking me, "Can you take direction from a woman?" I'm like, "What does that mean?" I mean, yeah. I mean, no big deal. Right. That woman actually ended up being my first wife, and she got a job down here in St. Louis. Yeah, there you go. And
what?
You knew that.
If I did, I forgot.
Yeah.
If I did, I forgot.
Yeah.
I didn't. Maybe I don't know.
And then she moved. She got a job down here at Channel 4 in St. Louis. And then I, of course, moved back home. And then we got divorced. And that's where you come in.
Yeah. Yeah, but you guys, hold on, you guys know each other. You took a huge leap there. I love to hear about people's childhood, because I believe that's where all of your habits, everything is formed, your beliefs and stuff like that. Tell me a little bit about, for example, I'll ask you a specific question. What is the one thing you remember most at the youngest age? What is the youngest age that you remember something?
Okay. I was 2 years old.
Okay.
My grandpa had just died. I don't remember anything about my grandpa. They tell me that he was a huge Cardinal fan, and that might be where I got it from. Mm-hmm. The only thing I remember about that was there was red carpeting at his funeral.
Really? That's what you remember.
That's what I remember. And my mom had some kind of black and white heavy jacket on. And 2 years old, that's what I remember. I couldn't tell you about anything else when I was 2, but except that. And I have never forgotten it.
Well, that's interesting, Paul, because most people can't remember that far back.
Right.
Usually it's 4 years old, 5 is when you, maybe 3, but 2 years old. Wow. That must have had an impact on you visually.
Yeah. And my favorite color is red.
Right.
I don't know if that had anything to do with the carpet. I mean, if there's a psychologist watching it, call me.
Yeah.
I would love to get that one analyzed. Yeah. But yeah, I have no idea why I remember that. And I still to this day remember that. And I don't know if I'll ever forget it.
All right. So what school did you go to? What was your first school?
I went to, it was a public school called Troutwine. We went, before that, nursery school. I don't remember the name of the nursery school, but Troutwine. I went there from kindergarten through 6th grade, and then junior high was right across the parking lot from it. And then high school, I went to a high school called Melville High School. For those of everybody in South County, or actually the question in St. Louis, when you're first meeting somebody, where'd you go to high school? That's what we always ask everybody. Where'd you go to high school? Because it's such a big, small town that everybody knows where everybody went to high school. So, I went to Melville. Fast forward to now, we live in Oakville School District, which is part of Melville. We are actually big rivals with Melville. My son goes to Oakville. As growing up and going to Melville, we did not like Oakville. So here I am going to Oakville now. Or my son's going to Oakville. I'm not going to Oakville.
You're not going to, right.
But it's now I'm on the other side of the rivalry, like Cards Cubs. But I'll never go to the dark side, Chicago. So yeah, it's just weird how life evolved that way. That now I'm an Oakville Tiger instead of a Melville Panther.
Yeah, well, like they say, that'll learn you.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll learn you, big guy.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Be careful what you don't like and stuff like that. You never know, dude. That's what they say. Yeah, be careful what you criticize because, it can always come back to haunt you, man. You never know.
Although I think I'm safe with the Cardinals-Cubs rivalry because I don't think I will ever like the Cubs.
No, huh? Yeah.
No.
I don't think there's any Cardinal fan that would ever.
Just like you probably wouldn't like any Red Sox fans.
Oh God, I can't. Please, I can't. Yeah. Don't even mention that name. To me, it's just. I don't even go there. Yeah. All right. So what did you do in high school? What was? I'm trying to get to the point where you started thinking about what you were going to do, or what was your passion? What at what point, if you ever wanted, that kind of stuff.
Going through high school, I played soccer through high school, 3 years of high school. I didn't play senior year, but that's, I played high school and grade school and everything, but that's kind of where I finished playing my outdoor soccer. So, going through high school, I basically just got by. I didn't like high school. That's rubbed off on my son, but I just got by. I really had no idea what I wanted to do until my senior year in high school, when I was a shy kid in high school. I barely said anything and everything. So when I get to senior year, I wanted to be on the yearbook staff and write stories in the yearbook. So somehow that got me out of my shell, and I have not stopped talking since.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it one particular event, or it's just no?
No, it's, I had to interview these kids. I wrote for the sports part of the yearbook. So I got to interview, people for track and field, soccer, football, and everything. So, that's, I've always loved sports. I never thought I would want to get into writing or reporting on sports, but, I did. And that got me out of my shell. And, then I graduated there, and I went to Webster University in their broadcasting degree and everything, and haven't used it since.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was just something that popped up. See, that's interesting, Paul,
Mhm.
because you never know. Most people, they go through high school, they go through college, and most people don't even know what they want to do. They don't find their passion in life because it's all about what you like to do. You've heard that old thing that says, if you do what you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Right.
I know. I've done that my entire life, so I live and die by that. You see. So in your case, it's like it just showed up. I mean, it just happened. It's not something.
Right.
Just
and I don't know. I don't remember what made me want to get into the yearbook. I don't know, but it just hit me right there, and then I had fun doing it. Then when I got to Webster, and I got to do broadcasting for Webster Grove's high school football games. I was on the news for the college radio station, and it got me when I moved back to St. Louis. I got a job with St. Louis City of St. Louis Communications Division, where I was a sports reporter. Had my own TV show and everything, and that was a blast. I got to interview, let's see, Steve Atwater, Deacon Jones.
Well, tell some viewers and listeners who may not know who they are. Tell them who they are.
So Steve Atwater he was from St. Louis, but he was a safety for the Denver Broncos, and they had won the Super Bowl, and they had come back to town to play when the Rams were here. They played a preseason game or something at the Dome, and we had him on our show. No, actually, we went to him to interview, and he was a big guest on the show, and got my picture taken with him, and that was pretty cool. There was a convention down at the convention center. I don't know how Deacon Jones got there, but he was a longtime Ram defensive end.
He was. I know he played defense. Yeah.
But he was. I mean, he was good. I mean, he was a big deal. And
well, he's a Hall of Famer, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's a Hall of Famer.
I got to do a sit down one-on-one with him. I mean, that was pretty cool. I have no idea what I said, what he said. That was pretty cool.
You must have been like walking on clouds when that happened. I mean, it was like, oh my God.
I'm talking the frickin' Deacon Jones. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then one other time, Jackie Joyner-Kersee, big track star from East St. Louis, I think she is. She's big in St. Louis, and I met her at some kind of an event, and I introduced, "Hi, I'm Paul," and everything. "Oh yeah, I know who you are. I've seen you on TV." I was talking. I didn't know what to say after that. I was completely done. I mean, Jackie Joyner-Kersee knew who I was. I could not believe that.
Oh so my! Let me.
I'm done. Check me out.
Kyle's back. Yeah, I want you to hold that thought because Kyle,
my internet dumped.
You left there.
My internet just crashed.
Wow. Well, better the internet than you.
Well, hold on. Let me.
All right. Oh, geez, there we go. Good God! Listen, we're at I'm not sure if you were listening. This is fascinating because when he was you were a freshman in college, or when this happened.
No, that was a senior in high school when I was on the yearbook staff.
When you were interviewing these celebrities?
Oh no, this was after I moved back to St. Louis. So this was probably late 90s.
Okay. So talking about interviewing Deacon Jones and Steve Atwater and Jackie right? Is it what's
Jackie Joyner-Kersee?
Olympian. Yeah.
I mean, these are like world-class athletes. I mean, these people are incredible.
Well, that leads me to
Joel Quenneville was the coach of the Blues, and he came in the studio one time. We interviewed Joel Quenneville. I was a sports intern at one of the TV stations here, and the TV station was like a block from the old arena where the Blues used to play, and they had moved downtown, and there was a roller hockey team called the St. Louis Vipers. And I was playing roller hockey at the time, so I was very
You
familiar
played
with
roller
it.
hockey? Oh my God. Are you serious?
let me get back to that. I got a story on that one.
We want to hear that. There it is.
I was a terrible skater. I'll tell you that. I was a terrible skater. But hang on.
Because it's fake. It's so fake. It's as worse than wrestling.
Oh no. So they had me go down to, this was before we had all these reporters, and I think all the reporters had gone for the day, and there was just the sports director, a producer, and a couple interns, and they sent us they would send the interns down to get stories like post games at Cardinals or Blues and stuff, and that was fun. But so I went down to the old arena. It was the very last, like a couple days before they were going to demolish the arena, and the coach of the St. Louis Vipers was Hall of Famer Bernie Federko, and we got to interview him. It was me and him, and then a bunch of reporters or other reporters around us, and it was basically the other reporters just let me and him go, and me and him, we just had a nice back and forth little interview. And here I am talking with the Hall of Famer of the St. Louis Blues, Bernie Federko. That was pretty awesome too. I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So man, you've interviewed some top-notch athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
We got to bring him on board, Ralph.
Hey,
we got to bring him on as one of our interviewers. Him and Jim would get along great. Baseball fans, and
they would love that.
Now getting back to roller
there
hockey.
It is, the fake stuff.
So no, not the
sorry,
fake
I'm
stuff.
eating dinner too. So hey, life, sports, music, and beer. We're drinking beer, our wine,
and dinner.
I mean, this is as real as it gets, man. Life goes on. Internet's crashed. Whatever.
I'm getting hungry and I'm getting thirsty.
So
you can say your internet crashed too and go get both of those. No.
Yeah, there it is.
Seriously,
it
crashed again.
That's a good excuse, Kyle. Hey, Kyle, just leave us alone. Let's have a man-to-man conversation here.
Oh, now he's not going to hear this.
That's all right.
Okay, so they opened up this new rink. It's an outdoor rink with the tile for roller hockey, and one of the guys that's running it his name is Perry Turnbull, big St. Louis Blues player, an alumni from the St. Louis Blues. He was part of the Miracle on Ice, the Monday Night Miracle with the Blues and everything. So big deal for the Blues. I think the team we were playing didn't have enough players, so he dressed up and was playing with this other team. And I remember one time I was just inside the blue line. He had the puck and he was skating towards me, and I'm like this on skates, and he sees it, dumps the puck, falls down, and then I kind of cross check him for behind. I got Perry. So that was, I took Perry Turnbull out in a hockey game. So that was my.
So is that the highlight of your life? Is that the?
It was the highlight of my roller hockey career.
Hockey career
that lasted maybe 2 seasons.
Oh, wait a second! I misunderstood. Roller hockey. That's different than the
roller derby.
Yeah.
Do I look like the roller derby type to you, dude?
Dude, with the hair like that, I don't know.
The hair.
You got to remember, the first time I met Paul, he was almost bald. I always thought you were bald.
Yeah.
And now you've got the locks of love.
Is that your real hair, Paul?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I shaved it for like 10, 15 years because I worked early mornings and I didn't want to have to bother with it. So.
All right, so we've touched on some. Yeah, right. We've touched on some really good sports stuff with Paul. So, but I'm interested in this. I'm interested in so if you could hot tub time machine yourself back to any moment in sports, where would you go? That you could watch in person a sporting event from your past, whether it be in your life or previous life, anything.
Wow.
That's a hell of a question.
It is. I was totally not prepared.
Bazinga, yeah.
This is what dead air sounds like.
Just make something up, dude. Kyle probably he's got to go eat anyway, so he's probably not going to listen to it.
So and I was thinking this because I'm on a group on Facebook that the Arizona Cardinals used to be in St. Louis and used to be the St. Louis Cardinals. So they're showing a lot of pictures of that, and it got me kind of thinking that sports today sucks. I think It's all driven by analytics and everything. Go back to when it was football and you played in the mud. You didn't have these dome stadiums. You didn't have AstroTurf, fake grass field, and baseball too. I mean, it's a great sport. Both are great sports. Don't get me wrong, but everything is okay. The charts show that he's going to hit it this way. Let's get all the infielders on one side of the field. Just drop down a freaking bunt. Learn how to hit the other way. That's, back in the old days when players didn't play for $100 million contracts.
And there was no guaranteed contracts.
Right.
They had to play their asses off if they wanted. I mean,
so
they played year to year, no guarantees. You put up the numbers or you were out of there. They didn't put up with that crap. Yeah, I agree with you 1,000. We can get the whole conversation on that, and we'll do that. We'll set up a conversation on that because our resident sports expert Rick, he's really heavy into that, and he knows a lot. And when you talk baseball, of course, we'll bring Jim. I would love to bring you four guys to talk about.
If it's talking about baseball, leave me out of it. I'll produce that.
Okay.
One. I don't.
All right.
I don't know enough about baseball to even hold a candle to those three.
Oh, really?
I can't even hold a candle to you when it comes to baseball. I know nothing.
Well, see, here's what happens. This is my belief. Paul, tell me what you think about this. I've been involved in the sports world all my life. From a young man, my whole life was revolved around sports, not only from a personal, but from a business side. I own the first sporting goods stores in South Florida. I believe that sports is such an integral part of our lives. There's no getting away from sports. I don't care who you are. If you don't like sports, it's going to affect you one way or the other. Am I correct or not?
I agree completely with that. Yeah. I mean, talking about St. Louis in particular, if you take it on a night when there is no Cardinal baseball or no Blues hockey downtown, it is a freaking ghost town down there.
Yep. It's the way the Buckeyes are.
You take away, you take away the sports from around here. There's absolutely nothing going on. And I mean, we're a Cardinal town, baseball city. We have plenty of room for the Blues and this new soccer team that's coming. But that's something that, I mean, people go to the games just to people watch.
Right.
I mean, I love baseball and I love hockey, and sometimes I end up just,
Right. So it's a social activity, is what it is.
Yeah.
Of course. And let me just share this with you. How do you feel about this? I remember going to ball games with my wife when, we were going out and going with my father and stuff like that. What I love about baseball, and I haven't been to a baseball game in years. This is not about me. You could sit down and it was like because baseball is such a slow tempo game. You bonded. You had time between pitches and between innings to talk about, your situations, what was happening, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
And now they want to shorten the game. They want to make it fast. Why do they want to do that?
They're messing with it too much. Yeah. I mean,
just leave it alone. Don't fix it if it ain't broke.
Yeah.
No, we got to make it faster. That's what is your take on that, Paul?
It was fine. It was fine. I mean, they've sped it up too much to where, I mean, especially this not the pitch count, the time in between pitches. I mean, just leave it. The mound visits, that's part of the game. The DH and the NL this coming year. That's ruining it, I think.
Let me give you an example of that. If you listen to the Jim Mancilla story when they were in Italy, was it Kyle, help me on this way. I think they were playing in Cuba or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the Italian players goes up there. He's like 140 pounds, 5'6" or 7. And he goes up there, and the pitcher would later make it to the big leagues. This guy was like 6'7", 280 pounds. And the batter, remember this, Kyle?
Yeah.
And the batter was and he was stepping out, and he was taking his time, and he was trying to get the signals from the third base coach. And the pitcher was waving him, come on, get in there. Yeah. And the kid finally says to him, I'll get in there when I want to, So he gets into the batter's box, and the pitcher just drilled the hell out of him with a fastball, hit him in the back. And the kid, 140 pounds, he dropped his bat and he charged the pitcher. It was like, you see what I'm saying?
That's what like pitchers like Bob Gibson and like that did in the old days. If you weren't in the batter's box and ready for his pitch, you got it high and tight or you got hit. I
Right,
mean, that's how they policed it, I guess.
Right.
All right. I want to ask you
That's the way
one
it should
question
be.
because you just touched on something that's so. If you had to pick one pitcher in a do or die game, who would you choose? I'm putting you on the spot. Any
era?
pitcher, any era in a do or die game, who would you pick?
Well, okay. Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina.
No, a pitcher.
Yeah, Adam Wainwright.
You would pick Adam Wainwright?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Okay. You think he's
Back-
that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when
I'm not.
when him and Yadi are in sync, those two are gonna, if they play the entire season this year, they will set the record for most starts as a battery mate. When those two are in sync, they're like Gibson and Tim McCarver were back in the day here in St. Louis. That
I'm glad
they didn't
you
have
said
to
that.
look at. They didn't have to look at the sign. He knew what Yadi was going to call. Yadi knew what Adam wanted to throw. You know.
Right.
Yeah. I'm glad you
Yeah.
said that. See, to me, it was Bob Gibson.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's tough
The
to
guy was
argue.
ferocious. No, he was
Yeah.
ferocious.
Yeah.
This guy was an animal.
You
It was
you
like-
didn't take the ball out of his hands. I mean,
Oh my
if he
God
was
almighty.
drained in the ninth inning, you know, he was gonna keep going.
I remember Herzog coming out sometimes and Gibson would tell him, get back in the dugout. Get back. I'm not giving you the ball. I mean,
Right.
that's the kind of guy he was. He was.
Yep.
Anyway, I know we're drifting, but
So
because
what
you're
was
such a
your
huge
hot
St.
tub
Louis
time
fan.
machine moment? I don't think we ever touched base on that.
You want to
talked-
get back to that, Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Back, I
drifted.
mean,
Now that we've got a little
really
bit of
don't
time,
have
let your
a
subconscious
time frame. It's
doesn't
back
matter.
when
Yeah, it doesn't
back
matter.
when sports were.
But what one event, what one sports event, whether you were
I'm
live or
dodging
not,
this, am I?
what one sports, if it's a sports event, because you like sports so much, you live in a sports town, one sports event, whether you lived it or didn't live it, would you want to go and see it live, either again or
Live?
for the first time? Yeah,
Yeah, you would want to be there. You
when the
would want to
Blues won the Stanley
experience
Cup.
it.
when the Blues won the Stanley Cup.
Cup.
Ah,
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was with you. You and I were
You
in this. No, I take that back. I wasn't with you. I showed up a day later.
Yeah.
'Cause we were at the beach.
Because you guys came down for
We-
you were here for the parade. Yeah.
we were there for the parade. So, but I don't know where you
Yeah.
were for it, but I remember where I was for it, and I'm not even a Blues fan. I'm a Columbus Blue Jackets fan, except for now that they're on separate sides of the fence. I can be a
Mhm.
Blues fan again, unless they meet in the Stanley Cup, which right now with the way our Blue Jackets are playing.
Yeah.
But okay,
But,
so
I mean,
the
that's-
Blues
I mean-
Stanley Cup. Well, for you, that's if the Blue Jackets ever won a Stanley Cup, I would probably put that right up there because it's so hard
Yeah.
to do. It's so hard to do a
Yeah.
Stanley Cup.
All right, Paul. So I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You can stew on this one for a while if you want to answer it later, but you're going to answer it before you leave.
Oh, really? Let me hit
What
end
is
call.
what is the one moment in your life that you think that just something that happened to you, an event that made more difference in your life than anything that just happened that you could say that was a defining moment in my
Oh,
life?
that's a great
and,
question.
and we all have it. We all
That's a
have
great
one.
question.
Hang on, I just got a text. I got to go. See you guys. Bye.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Let's let you cook on that while we gotta pay some bills here and get a sponsor
Yeah.
going. So
Yeah.
let's run this
All right.
sponsor, and Paul will cook on this for the minute and a half that the sponsor plays or whatever it may be.
Way to bail him out there, buddy. Way to bail
Thanks,
him
buddy.
out, Kyle.
So
Thanks, buddy.
We'll be
I'm
right
sending
back.
you a beer.
We'll be
This beer's on you.
we'll be right back. We'll be right back, and we'll get Paul's answer. We'll give him a little time to think about it.
Yeah, all right.
You've been listening to Life, Sports, Music, and Beer, and maybe wine tonight.
Maybe wine. I should have gotten a beer. Yeah.
You've got enough on your plate. Why go through the hassle of designing your own business cards, brochures, and other marketing materials online when InKey Productions can do it for you, free of charge? Plus, we'll beat any advertised price by at least 10%. Don't waste your precious time designing and ordering your marketing material. Let us do it for you. All you need to do is tell us what you're thinking, and we'll take care of it from there. No design fees, no hassle, and delivery straight to your door. So, let us handle your marketing materials. That's what we do, and we do it better than anyone else, and for less. Visit inkeyproductions.com or call 305-697-0662. That's inkeyproductions.com, 697-0662 and use your time to build your business, not your marketing material. InKey Productions, your one-stop hassle-free personal printing and marketing professionals, where excellence is our only goal.
Hey, welcome back. We're here with Paul Anthony. Fascinating. St. Louis fan, born and raised. And just you hear some of his stuff, and it's so wonderful to hear stories like this. But anyway, before we broke, I asked him this one particular question, and then Kyle bailed him out because Paul went nuts thinking about what hell am I going to say? And
Brothers from another mother.
Yeah, so I'm buying you a little bit more time here, Paul. It says, if you had to pick one defining moment in your life that just had such an impact on your life, what would that moment be?
It'll be the day my son was born.
There it is.
Look at that. You just scored some brownie points, dude.
No.
That
was a
well,
very
you know,
significant day. There's a very
that
good
was.
story.
Well, tell us
behind
about
this
your
about
son then.
He-
Tell us about your son.
Okay,
Don't leave any. Paul, put it out on the table, man. We want to hear everything about.
And you know
part of it.
You
I
and
know. I don't know
you
all
and your
of it.
wife Jen know the story.
I know.
So
I know it,
Yeah,
but
you do.
I don't know. I know
So-
the story, but I don't know your part of the story and how you, as a father or soon-to-be father, was feeling during that time, because it was not a good. It was a good time. It was the best of times, and it was the worst of times, right? I'm getting choked up, and we'll find out why.
All right.
So I mean, everything was normal with Tammy's pregnancy and everything, and she went into. I think they had to take him like a month early. And I mean, everything was fine. He was healthy then. So he was born on March 20th, Kyle's birthday, by the way, birthday buddies.
One more month.
And
Settle down. Good night. Settle down.
I know. I'll be fit. I'm gonna be 50 in March. So
God Almighty. Well, you act like you're 12.
I'm not quite
Settle
there
down,
yet,
buddy.
yeah, I am.
Just remember that I'm younger.
Yeah, I know, barely.
Well, that means he's got to respect you,
Yeah.
Kyle. If you're older
right.
than him, he's got to respect you.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, go right ahead. This is interesting.
But anyway, so he was born, and he, they showed him to us and everything, like any newborn, I guess, does. So then they took him away, and something wasn't right and everything. So Tammy had a C-section, so she couldn't get to him as much as she wanted to. So it was just me. And I have no medical background. I have no idea what anybody's talking about.
You don't even like to talk about like blood, and you don't like any of that stuff.
No,
Yeah.
no. I mean,
I've seen you almost faint at times of telling stories.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not good. I don't handle blood well until recently. And when he hurts himself or something, I've been fine, absolutely fine. So, which I guess that's the parent in me kicking in. But anyway, his second day of life, they rushed him to, a children's hospital here. He had a coarctation of the aorta, and they had to go in and do a heart surgery on him and get him pump that aorta back up. So, and this was when we had flip phones, and in order to text, you had to hit like B or 2 like 4 times to get C or whatever.
Right.
So my wife was still in the hospital with the C-section. The doctor wouldn't release her just yet. So I think I drove to the hospital with my dad, and we were waiting in the NICU and everything, and they come out, and the doctor starts telling me what's wrong and what they're going to do. And I'm like, what the hell are they talking? So Kyle and Jen in the medical field, so I'm texting them like crazy almost every day, and they are pretty much, for the 10 days that he was in the hospital, I think I was basically by myself for like 4 or 5 of those days until my wife got released and was able to get there.
This was a different
with
hospital.
me.
Of course, he was at a
different
children's hospital.
Right.
Yeah. So, and walking in these NICU rooms, it's so freaking depressing. I mean, you see these little itty bitty tiny babies. I mean, they're skin and bone. And then you see Thomas, my son, And he's this chunky 9-pound thing that's sitting laying on this
Even
bed.
a month early.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he was a chunky monkey, dude.
That's why he's a fighter.
And yeah. I mean, everything turned out great, and he's fine now. But it was at the first 10 days of his life that I was scared to death, and that, I guess, brought the father in me out much sooner than I expected it to.
Right.
And then that thank God for Jen and Kyle that they pretty much walked me through everything that he was doing that was going wrong with him,
And what was wrong with him? What did he have? Do you remember?
It was just the coarctation of the
Can you explain that?
What is it? Explain that.
Yeah, I'm not as.
You explain it, Kyle.
I don't know it that well. I just know that it's something where the heart, there's a hole in the heart, and when the baby is born, it doesn't connect properly and close off because there's different blood flow when the baby is in utero. And then there's something wrong with the heart that doesn't seal up, basically. So I don't know. There's several different heart malfunctions that nurses know to a T, especially like pediatric nurses. So that's why that's why he kept on calling Jen. My wife's a pediatric nurse, and at the time was in OB, so she knew all the ins and outs of this issue. So she really is the one that as you met my wife earlier today, Ralph, that that like. She was a huge person to talk to Paul and to Tammy about through it all because she had seen it and had lived it. I've never seen it in my realm as a respiratory therapist and a paramedic. I've never really seen that actual, like, the birth thing. And I mean, because even if it happens in the back of the medic, I give them to the hospital. I'm like, here you go, take them. so please, Paul, like, absolutely. I mean, I know part of it, but like, you may know there's several different heart abnormalities. So you may know a little bit more just because you lived it, and which one I get confused on which one it is because it's after my time with the baby.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't.
Okay.
I don't remember all that. I can remember what happened when I was 2 years old, but I don't remember everything that was that.
Well, I bet you it was a weird time. I know when my daughter fell ill, there's a lot of stuff from that time that I just, I just don't remember. It's because you're so stressed, so worried. You're wondering if your life is ever going to be the same again, whether, either way, good or bad,
And it was you and Jen that calmed me down, and everything's going to be fine. This is what they expect. I remember her texting, this is what you expect to see in the next day or so.
Right.
It happened. I mean,
and your wife wasn't able to be there all the time.
No. So I was the one that had to be up at the hospital all the time.
Which is,
I'm not complaining about that at all.
No, but it's still tough. I mean, it all comes down on you. I get it. I've been there.
So how old is he now? How old is
he'll be 15 on the 20th of March. So he's 14 now. So the one time that I went in there, it was, I don't know, it was in the afternoon or something. I went in after work, and there was 2 ways to get around, to get in there. First, you had to go in, wash your hands really good and everything. And I walked down a hall, and then I made a turn. But the first hall that I went down was a doorway that you could see in to hit all the cribs and everything. But he was on the other side, so it would make sense for me to go around. So I'm walking down this hallway, and I pass that doorway that looks into the nursery there. And there was like 8 or 9 doctors just surrounding his bed. And I see that, and then I start running. Like, what the hell is wrong with my son? What's going on with this? Oh, nothing. We just never seen any baby this big in the NICU before.
Oh my God.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because you got these little
true. Yeah.
Skin and bone
and
kids.
That's so crazy being a month early because usually they're pretty small. Yeah. So
he was a chunky dude.
So this time, like, you feel that this time shaped your life and how everything, I mean, like, how did it shape your life and how everything after that moment, like, what did you, like, now looking back at it, you don't know in the moment. That's not what I'm asking. But, like, how do you now, looking back 14 years later, feel that how it shaped your life and how you interact with people or empathize with people or what have you?
I certainly respect you and Jen a hell of a lot more.
Oh, the medical team, right?
Through.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always appreciated every time I've had to go in for surgery and everything. But, since then, everything that, especially when you work with kids and even back then, teachers and nurses and everything, doctors that took care of my son. Cause, I mean, that makes me very happy to see him doing so well now.
Right.
And I mean, everybody was a part of it. So, I had this appreciation for everybody that has dealt with him medically, educationally, and everything. Academically, I guess I should say. I guess I should go back to school. That's money wasted. But it just gives me a greater appreciation for everybody that has helped him along the way, and who has in turn helped me along the way. And
Right.
Yeah, that's a great outlook. I have to tell you something, because I believe that many of us that have never had a child, to that point, or has never had a serious problem with one of our kids, we take it for granted.
Mhm.
I truly believe that, because that's just the way we're built. We usually take for granted a lot of things. And sometimes events like that are things. I'm a Christian. I don't push that on anybody. I just say, and I truly believe that God speaks to us in our circumstances. He allows circumstances we may not understand it. That's the way he speaks to us. So from a Christian point of view, from my point of view, to me, it was almost like God was allowing that to happen in your life to basically sending you a message. Hey, life is precious. And now you're going to understand that more than ever, and you're going to appreciate the fact that that your son is who he is, and how much you need to take care of him, what he means to you. That's my take. I don't want to get mushy. That's just the way that I feel.
Yeah.
And Paul, is that safe to say that maybe when you look at Tommy, you look at him, you don't remember that, but maybe somewhere deep inside you say, wow, I'm blessed, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to kick his butt for not doing good in school and everything, but
but that's part of being a parent.
That's part of being a parent and growing.
Send him off to Kyle and Jen's there.
No. Trust
At least
me.
he'll be taken care of.
I got a college student that I have to like weekly be like, remember, you have an 8:00 Monday class. Are you going to go this time?
Right.
Oh,
right.
This time?
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
This time? Yeah. So that means that there's been multiple Mondays, and there's only so many Mondays in a semester. So,
all right, so I'm going to ask you one more question. This is all right. Just bear with me on this one. We all have regrets in life. Something that you did, or something that you did not do, that now looking back, I wish I would have done that.
Or
what's your? And we have more than one. I myself had dozens, literally. But my top three, if someone asks, what is one of your top regrets? One,
I think one of my regrets is, back in high school, I wasn't as outgoing as I am now.
Did you have a sense? Because you got a hell of a sense of humor. You have that dry sense of humor that is contagious. Yeah, it's very dry. You got like the Woody Allen type sense of humor, which to me is the best sense of humor. It's just that dry humor. You weren't like that when you were in high school?
Shut up.
You weren't?
No, I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't.
So with that being said, if that was a regret, what makes you? I mean, how do you think it would have been different for you if you were have been like you are now back then? Like, what do you think would have opened up? Okay, this is where we put pause on so Tammy doesn't hear that, because I think whatever you
can
did,
edit that or bleep that.
Whatever you did it right, because whether you got divorced 7 times before you met her, you're finally in the right spot, I feel.
No, I mean that's one thing that going through the first marriage, I regret it now, but thinking back, I have had, I appreciate Tammy more now and her family than going through the absolutely bad stuff that I went through. So, I mean, that wasn't a regret. I mean, I was very, very thankful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what would have been different? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know how it would have been different.
Yeah. So what do you do now? What kind of work do you do? Not that it makes any difference. I hate it when people really ask me, well, what kind of work do you do? It's like that has a bearing on who I am. But The hell does it
I
matter?
sit at the bar here and drink.
Yeah, that's a
Oh
job.
God, can I fill out an application? I would love that.
You don't even have to fill out a vacation. All are welcome. All are
Everybody's
welcome.
welcome. Yeah.
All are
Come on down to
welcome.
St. Louis, and I'll take care of you right here. I got a full bar back there, and there's a few more beers left. But
All right,
anyway,
but I know you're in the travel business.
actually, yeah, I am. I worked for a grocery store here in St. Louis for 18 years. Been up and down in there. And, one thing, this kind of ties back to, I think, Ralph, what you said earlier. My dad always used to say, you got to love what you do. And I didn't love it. I hated it. And it kind of grew over 18 years that I hated it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm out.
Was there one
And
particular thing that triggered that said, I'm out of here? Or you just one day?
It had nothing to do with work. I mean, my wife and she quit her job back in 17, I think. And she took some time off, and, I had the job with the insurance and everything. And then we had an agreement that when she got her new job and had the insurance, that I would be able to quit my job and start looking for something else. So that's kind of the underlying thing. And, or that was the cause of it. But there was really no one thing that led to me hating it. No. I mean, it's just over time that, what, I'm tired of getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and being on that hard floor all the time. And it sucked. It wasn't as fun as it was before. And anyway, so, it took me a while to find travel, and, I like it. It's fun. I like trying to craft these memories that, when I was a kid, every summer, my parents and I we drove around the United States. That's all we did every year. Either mountains or beach or something. And I like trying to bring those memories to other families. And, I had such a great childhood doing that with my family. Let's help other families do that too. And, so far it's been pretty good.
You've traveled a lot in the U.S. You've traveled quite a bit.
Oh yeah. I mean, we went to DC, Florida several times, Colorado several times.
Wow, several times.
Smokies a lot. I mean, yeah, what?
Several times. I've been to a lot of places, but not several times, other than Myrtle Beach. We know about that. We go every year, but
yeah.
Well, it was curious. I was talking to Jen this morning. I met Jen. We were talking like this. And she said to me that I asked her. It's
much nicer than Kyle is, isn't she?
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
A lot prettier.
Something happened there. I don't know. There's a disconnect there. I don't know.
I'm married up, boys. I'm married up.
Yeah. She married down.
Dude, we both did.
No, no, but seriously. And I asked her this. I says because I've read many times, and I've done some research that most people, a good percentage, it's almost like 90% of people never travel more than 100 miles from the place that they're born. Mm-hmm. So I asked her that, and she said, I've been to Colorado, didn't see much. I was there like for a convention or something, Kyle, or something, and she left. Yeah. And she's been to Orlando, Florida, Disney World, and that's it. And I said to her, Jen, or St. Louis. Yeah, but just, and I said to her, says, yeah, wow, you got to get out. You got to get out. This is the most beautiful country in the world. Forget Spain is nice and all these. I've traveled. I've been fortunate enough, blessed enough, but dude, there's nothing like this country. This country is so beautiful, and it's just the same. So involved in your business, if you get a chance to go out, man, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Well, where'd you just got back from somewhere, didn't you, Paul? Like right over, was it over the holidays or? Paul, you there?
Oh, we lost your audio. Oh, he's gone. Audio. Yeah, he'll come back on. Oh, there he goes.
Can you hear me?
Audio?
Okay. Yep. There we go.
Oh, there's an echo.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
All right. That's okay. That's all right.
Okay. Well, I lost my...
Yeah.
My headset. Oh, hang on.
See, there's an echo.
Oh, I hear something maybe coming out of your computer.
Somehow the...
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah.
Can you hear?
Oh, you lost these?
Yeah, there's an echo there.
Yeah, because I think it's coming out of his computer.
Right. The sound is coming out of... And folks, this is what you get because there's only one of us here that knows nothing about tech stuff, which is me. So when you put somebody in the mix, because I know Paul knows a lot about it and Kyle knows, you throw me in the mix and it's all over.
Well, and I still fought internet connection and everything tonight. So
Amazing.
There we go.
But you got it?
there we go.
You have
Back in your head.
There you go.
Now
Okay.
we're back in your head, aren't we?
Okay, but listen.
Normally people
I
say
know
sound
there's
comes
still
out
a
of
lot
my
to talk
ass.
about.
Oh,
I'm not even going to go there.
right.
Thank you.
But listen, we got to start wrapping this up soon. But before we do, I want you
I don't
to,
wanna
you're in
wrap.
your basement now. Am I correct? You're in your basement?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm in
Okay.
the basement.
And
His
from
man
what I
cave.
understand, your basement is very
Awesome, man.
interesting.
Yes.
So how do we want to do this? I want you to take me through your basement. Is there some way we can do that camera wise, or how do we do this?
First of all, get
Can
this
you-
ugly mug out of the camera here.
Right.
Actually, I can do this.
There you go.
There you
like
go.
that.
That he's a
this
mobile
to-
reporter.
I'm the mobile report. I can't go. Well,
Can't go too far.
Yeah,
but you
plug
can
this.
From our correspondent on the street.
From our
street, what do they
correspondent
call
in
it?
straight in St. Louis.
Yeah, it's pretty windy here. Anyway, let's go for a walk.
Turn the fan off. Turn the fan off.
There's thunder snow. No.
So
All right, so
that's
what
a
do you got?
fun thing. I mean, you get dumped. Okay, these are all
Yeah.
bobbleheads. My dad collected all these from all the games he went to.
Good God,
Dude, that
God,
is
I look
impressive.
creepy.
that is freaking awesome, dude.
So I
can't-
mean, all
yeah.
these. I mean, I'm sorry about the lighting's not great here.
You didn't know we were going to put an impromptu tour of your home.
Yeah, hope
Look at
everybody's
this. Oh
dressed.
my God.
I know.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Are you kidding
and
me?
these up here, they have these are like replica statues of what's around Busch Stadium.
Now, these are all
Yeah.
baseball bobbleheads, or do they have them in hockey
Yeah,
also?
these are all baseball.
These
I
are all
think they
baseball,
have
okay.
hockey ones, but I don't have any hockey ones. The only
you do the
non-cardinal
baseball
that
then.
we have is this one right here. My wife is a big fan of Mike Matheny of the Royals, the manager of the Royals, and our neighbors went to a Kansas City
like
game
all
and
women
went
are,
away.
right?
And why is that?
So
May I ask? You don't want. Okay,
she
forget
says
it.
he's cute.
Yeah, better looking than
I
all
don't
of
see
us
it.
put
I mean-
together. So.
Well, that doesn't take much. That doesn't
No.
mean anything. What the hell does that
Wow.
mean?
That's true.
Come on.
Are
Good
you
point.
kidding me? You know, okay, you can do
And
it.
let's see these. I got a picture here. Let's see if I can do this of all the like ticket stubs from when the Cardinals won the World Series. Let's
Look at
see
that.
one where they beat the Yankees.
No.
Yeah, rub that mother in. All right,
You
all right,
you have
but-
way more than we
okay,
do.
Okay, exactly. So how many world championships has St. Louis won? Go ahead.
11.
Give me a number. Give me a number.
11. You guys have 20 something.
27.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
you guys have the Yankees.
You need
have
to
the
win it
most in
16 years in
baseball.
a row just to tie us, dude. 16 years in a row just to tie us. You better move
Right.
on to something else. I don't think this is turning out too well for you. Move
Ooh.
on. Yeah. Okay.
Challenge accepted.
But wait a second though. But
So-
but you know the difference is Ralph was alive for the Yankees' very first one.
I was alive way before that.
So anyway, this side of the wall.
Man, that
So
was a
when we
low
were
blow.
when we were
That was
putting
a
this
low
when
blow.
we were
You like that?
I love it. I love it.
It's
I
going to
love
be a
it.
reoccurring theme.
I
trust me.
love it. I love it. I
easy
love
for you to say.
it.
Yeah,
that's right.
So-
well, you know, I am through one whole glass of wine.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
All right. Settle down.
I've
Good
had
night,
2
settle
beers
down.
and I can still talk.
Yeah.
So when we put this bar together a couple years ago, I realized I have a lot of Cardinal stuff. So
Oh,
up
really?
here,
You don't say.
so up here,
That's
all
a little
these
blurry. Why is that so blurry?
Lighting
I
and
don't
lighting.
know.
Oh, the lighting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
there's
just lighting.
not
It
great
all
lighting
based
here.
on lighting.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
all of these are hats that my dad has either bought or gotten free at Cardinal games. I mean, there's a ton.
Look
of
at
wow.
hats here.
Good
That's new. I don't think
God.
that was there last time we were there.
No, I had pennants up there before, and I had 2 racks of
That's a
hats.
great
And I
idea.
didn't know what
That's
to
a
do
great
with them,
idea.
so I
That is
put them all up there 'cause
awesome,
I'm
dude.
not going to wear them.
My wife wonders
I
why
realized-
I don't throw away all my hats, and I'm like, I can't throw away these hats. Some of them were like, you know, we won the national championship in one hat. I'm like, that's going to get framed
Mhm.
someday. So that makes a lot of sense
Mhm.
to actually display them. I like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Beautiful,
that's a
man.
whole nother story right there with all the hats. So then I realized that I don't have a whole lot of blue stuff. And actually here, okay, Ralph, here are the 3 stadiums. So this
Oh,
one here.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see it.
All right, so start from the original, which was the original Busch Stadium.
This is backwards. Kyle, you should be doing this. This is backwards to me. So this one here is Sportsman's Park.
Oh, yep. Oh, don't drop the computer.
I don't want to drop my computer here. So that one there, that was Sportsman's Park. You can't really see it too well.
Yeah.
But that was.
We'll put a picture.
That
We'll
turned
put a
into
picture
Busch
of
Stadium.
Sportsman. Yeah, we'll put a picture up.
Yeah. And then this one here is Busch Stadium 2. The one that you remembered. And then this is the new one.
Now let me ask you, what did they do with Busch Stadium 2? Was it demolished? Is it still up as
the same
because
spot?
It's right now. It's called Ballpark Village. There's a bunch of bars and a couple high-rise hotel or no apartments there and everything. So
I don't think there's a better stadium in the whole national. What do they call it? Major League Baseball, National Hockey League. No, I don't think there's a better baseball stadium to get the feel because the city of the St. Louis has got the arch. So when you're sitting in that stadium, you look at the arch. When you're a fan, you're looking at the arch and the city skyline. They build it in a way that everybody sees the arch.
So one time when Kyle and his family came down, we sat behind home plate up top, and you can see arch, all of downtown, everything. It's just gorgeous there. And then got stuff from when the Blues won the Stanley Cup. An old Zamboni thing.
Which by the way, they were last place. They were in last place in their division at the All-Star break.
In
January, they came back from the All-Star break. They came back from the All-Star break and won.
It was a bake-off. They cooked a lot of the All-Star break. Yeah, it was really cool. I mean,
and it was
is that the greatest comeback in NHL history? Is that considered one?
I don't know.
I would imagine
probably
probably
one of the biggest team comebacks. Not per game, but last place in their division or all of hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Was it all of hockey or all of hockey? They were in last place, or was it just their division?
Yeah.
We'll have to look at that.
Wow.
Yeah. Incredible.
All right. So what do you got? What else?
The Western Conference. Okay, so apart from looking really scary in this picture here,
with the lighting,
my dad used to collect. Every year he would get a Clydesdale beer stein from Anheuser-Busch.
So St. Louis is the home of Budweiser.
Of course. Your Clydesdale.
So
I know that. Yeah.
When we had the house redone, we had a bookshelf custom built in here, and all of his beer steins.
Look at that. Dude, that is freaking awesome.
Are in there.
That is freaking awesome.
Those are cool.
Wow, man. Wow,
some of those
beautiful.
We may need to black that out. People seeing that.
No, you know what I'd like you to do.
Look up Paul Anthony. No.
No, take pictures of them later of all these things that you're showing us. So they'll show up clear, and we could put them up, Kyle.
Yeah.
So everybody can see them in a much clearer fashion because it's a little bit.
I did a video on it. I can always send you the video.
Oh, there you go.
That would be awesome.
So what's the name of your bar and the name behind that?
Okay, so hang on. Pardon me while I walk.
That's okay. Why do you name it this?
So up here, I don't know if you can see this.
Hard to see. Send us a picture that we'll dub over. It's better now that you've let it cycle.
It says Zanzibar, and there's a song. One of my favorite musicians is Billy Joel.
Life, sports, music. There we are. We brought music into it. Favorite musicians, Billy Joel. That was going to be a question. Go on.
And one of his songs is called Zanzibar.
And
it's about a sports bar in, I can't remember where he was when he wrote that or came up with that, but he was he made a song about a sports bar called Zanzibar, and I just really love the song.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, I want to have this bar in the basement, and we got to name it something. And let's name it Zanzibar because it's basically a sports bar.
It's basically a sports bar with all that sports stuff in there.
Yeah. I mean, we named it, or I named it Zanzibar. So
Wow.
Well, I just wanted, with that being said, I think this is a good time to wrap it up and understand for our viewers out there why life, sports, music, and beer is going to be such a success, and we're so proud to be a part of it, and it being the brainchild of Rick and Ralph and I, and now we're bringing in Paul to the mix. Hopefully, we'll get him being a host someday. But it just shows you we talked to Paul about a very major life-changing event in the birth of his son and all of the heartaches and successes that came from that, from the medical staff and himself, meaning Thomas. But, sports, how big of a sports in a lot of Paul's life, sports was huge, not only with just his own self, but with his dad and all the stuff on that. And then, the music and why he pays homage to his favorite band in the middle of it's the common, I can't that one glass, man. It's the culmination of that
culmination.
There it is, culmination. I wasn't a very smart man.
Settle down, good
the
night.
culmination of exactly what this show is going to be about. We're enjoying a beer or a glass of your maybe not so famous or favorite wine, but we're enjoying that and telling stories where we all have them. And just I want to thank Paul for bringing us through every aspect of every single thing in our show, and being part of it, and Ralph for asking such great questions, and just being a partner with me and in this, and with our host that's not here tonight, Rick, who you'll see plenty of, trust me when I tell you, because Rick has got many people lined up. He's got family members that mingle with the best of the best, and we're going to be bringing everybody in that we can and talking about their stories that shaped their life. Paul had his, I have mine, Ralph has, well, how many? About 1,000.
No, 2,000.
2,000. Okay, there you go. So
you're not going to catch me off guard with this.
No, I won't catch you.
Right?
I told you, it wouldn't be the last time I reference it. So, but I just want to thank all three of you. It's been fun. I've had a smile on my face, even because I know the whole history of Paul. I've even when he was talking about Thomas, because of some things that I remember thinking back when Thomas was little and stuff. He's sitting there telling the story about Thomas in the hospital. I'm like smiling. I'm like, that's not what I want to be doing right now. But I'm thinking of Thomas, how I wasn't there, and unfortunately, I wish I could have been there for you guys, physically and in the moment in front of you. But we were there, supported you as well as we could. But I remember all the stuff that I remember of Thomas as he was growing up, and that it was happy that everything did as good as it did to keep him around with us, and the fun times and the laughter and the birthday day phone calls. I haven't had a birthday in 14 years where Thomas and I don't talk. So, at least reach out and touch base with one another, because we're birthday buddies.
I mean, it's on his ends. It's mostly
listening. Yeah. Well, not because I'm a talker, but also because he's a little more relaxed.
Who said you're a talker? Who claims to? You're a talker?
There's a microphone in front of me somehow, and I got started with you all through voiceover, so I guess I like to talk. Paul, we really appreciate it, though. So on behalf of Ralph, my co-host, and Life, Sports, Music, and Beer, everybody here with it, everybody behind the scenes and in the future episodes, we just want to thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to take a look at our sponsors, and anything that we're going to put links to Paul's travel agency in the lower level here in the description, so you guys can definitely tap into that and be a part of that with him, and help support him through his family and his life now, and just want to also say a thank you to the technology that brings us together. We're in 3 separate parts of the world: Florida, Ohio, St. Louis, Missouri. So just glad that we could do this and really as men be able to get together and have these stories and talk about it. So that's about it. Signing off. Any last words, Ralph?
No, man, Paul, I thank you for letting me into your life. It really is a pleasure and an honor. No, and I mean that seriously. I'm a firm believer that people just need to talk. We don't talk anymore. People don't listen. Thank you for sharing your life with us. And this is only the beginning. We're going to have you on more.
Doing this. Yeah.
All right, exactly. You're exactly
What?
right.
Huh? What?
No, he showed the mobile phone. Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
come on, let's start connecting a little bit more.
Yep.
So I thank you for that. And I'm proud to call you. I can call you friend. And I'll tell you this, I'm going to make it a point, because at my stage in life, I'm doing a lot. I don't want to leave any stones unturned. I'm going to make it a point, my wife and I, to get out to St. Louis during the baseball season, whether it's this year or next year. And we'll let you know. We're going to, we'll get some tickets. We'll go to the game, have a good time, go out to dinner. Because I want to meet you personally, give you a big hug, a big Cuban hug. Just go out and have a beer and have a good time, dude. So I thank you for that.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
You got it.
And we can talk about Kyle when he's not here.
Yeah. Always watching Wazowski.
Hey, we'll get
All
Kyle
right.
and Jen out there. We'll get Kyle and Jen out there.
You plan it long enough in advance, we'll get everybody out there. So
Yeah, absolutely,
we love
dude.
going.
And
We
Rick
can go to St. Louis and yep.
Yeah, I love it.
All right,
thank
guys.
You, thank you, Paul.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
We hope you enjoyed Paul's story. His unassuming ways, his dry sense of humor, together with his love for his family and his passion for sports, should be an inspiration to everyone. Paul's life is simple, and simple is good. From the loss of his father to the life-changing experience of his newborn son's fight to stay alive, Paul's life teaches us that we're all blessed and stronger than we think. The challenges he faced led him to realize not only how blessed he was to have a loving wife and a healthy son, but good friends, things which many of us take for granted. We feel blessed to have had the opportunity to listen to Paul's story. And now it's your turn. Reach out to us by clicking on the links below and begin your journey to telling your story. I have no doubt that it's something you've been wanting to do but have never made the time or found the ears to listen. Well, now you have. I'm Ralph, and on behalf of Kyle, Rick, and all of us here at Life, Sports, Music, and Beer, we look forward to listening to your story. See you then.
On behalf of everyone from Life, Sports, Music, and Beer, we thank you for tuning in. If you've got that story to tell, comment below. Smash that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell so you can hear other amazing stories.